Ashley was one of my best friends back in high school, along with Steve Jenkins and Jolene Carter. We were the Four Musketeers. That ended when her dad took a job in Austin our senior year. I hadn't heard from her since. I'm good, Ashley said. Went to UT, graduated, got married, got divorced. Now I write for the Austin Statesman. Damn, that's a ride. What happened? I asked. I got married, she said with a shrug. He didn't, or forgot how vows work. I caught him cheating 3 times. Third time I tossed his sorry A out. Think he's running a McDonald's in Beaumont now. Damn, I'm sorry, I said. Been there. So what brings you to Dallas? Ashley asked. Covering the Jenkins trial. 2 weeks now, I said. I saw you testify, she said. Poor Jolene. She didn't deserve that. I didn't answer. No, she didn't deserve that. But I still wished for something worse. Slower. That choice got ripped from me by the guy I used to call my best friend. So, how's life, Bill? Ashley asked, cutting into my thoughts. Trash, I said. Last 16 years, one big A lie. Well, you've got kids, she said. Yeah, I said, at least legally. You might not share their DNA, but you're their dad where it counts, she said. Maybe. Still sucks, I said. She leaned forward. Look, I gotta tell you something, Ashley said. I raised a brow. What's up? Reporters are all over this, she said. They want your story. I want to be the one who tells it. You trust me more than them. We sign a deal. Exclusive rights. You see everything before it goes out. I protect you from the vultures. She wasn't wrong. CNN, Fox, AP, even some big-name bloggers. It was chaos. But Ashley? I felt like I could trust her. All right, I said. You got it. So what now? Do we do this here? Your place, mine? She laughed. Slow down, cowboy, Ashley said. I was thinking something different. I haven't been back home in years. Abilene's 2-3 hours from here. Jury's off till Monday. Let's drive out there. You tell me everything on the way, then I talk to your folks, your kids, if that's cool. I paused, then nodded. Yeah, okay. Could be good to show you around, I said. Where are you staying? Ashley asked. Hilton? You? I said. Same, she said. Want to grab your stuff first? Yeah, I said. Meet at my truck in 30? Cool. Let me guess. Biggest damn truck in Texas, she said, grinning. Big blue cab. Hard to miss, I said. Still the same old bill, she said. Give me 30. Gonna change into something comfier. We hit the road just after sundown, heading west on Highway 20. I hate driving into the sun, so I was glad for the timing. Ashley had swapped her work clothes for a denim skirt and a white Western-style blouse. Still looked as good as she did back then. Maybe better. I caught a glimpse of her legs and felt that old itch. I know what you're thinking, Ashley said, smirking. Oh yeah, I said. Something like, why'd I mess with Jolene instead of Ashley? She said. I laughed. That obvious? You were checking me out, she said. Just like high school. Didn't think I was that easy to read, I said. Legs like mine are hard to forget, Ashley said, grinning. I just nodded. She pulled out a recorder. So, I said, no new guy in Austin? Nah, she said. After the divorce, all I do is work. Got trust issues. And I haven't met anyone worth the hassle. Sorry to hear it, I said. She gave a short laugh. No, you're not, Ashley said. Damn, still sharp. Anyway, she said, placing the recorder on the dash. Ready to roll? Let's do it, I said. Mind if I record? Ashley asked. I shook my head. Not at all, I said. I want you to get it right. I took a sip of coffee, thought for a sec, then started talking. You know how it was, Ash, I said. Back in high school, it was me, Steve, and Jolene after you left. I proposed to Jolene right after graduation. She said yes. Me and Steve both joined the Marines. We went through boot camp in San Diego, same platoon even. Plan was, I'd marry Jolene after training. What happened next? Ashley asked. After boot, we split, I said. Steve went infantry, I went electronics. He got stationed at Camp Pendleton. I ended up in Quantico. About a month in, he busted his knee, got medically discharged. Still walks with a bit of a limp, if you noticed. Couldn't they just give him a desk job? Ashley asked. Nah, I said. Marines don't work like that. Everyone's got to meet combat standards. Doesn't matter if you're a clerk or tech guy. You can't move. You're out. His dad helped him get that county job, right? He was commissioner? She asked. Yep, I said. Kept the seat till he died. That's how Steve got his foot in. Folks liked the old man, so they voted for the son. You got back, married Jolene, and Steve was your best man? Ashley asked. I nodded. Yeah, I said. Turns out he was Jolene's best man too, if you catch my drift. Damn, Ashley said. That witch. After that, we moved west. 9 months later, Brian was born, I said. A year after that, I got sent to Okinawa, solo tour. I let Jolene and the kids stay at my house, my grandparents' old place. Easier on her with both our families around. When I came back, I moved him with me to Camp Lejeune in North Carolina. Not long after, Jessica was born. She didn't take that one well, huh? Ashley asked. Nope, I said. She had a rough time with the pregnancy. Said 2 kids were enough, told me to get snipped. Said we could reverse it if we wanted more later. I agreed. Looking back, I shouldn't have. Ashley looked over. Seeing pics of the kids now, she said. They look a lot like Steve. Didn't you notice back then? Fair question, I said. But you remember, me and Steve looked a lot alike in high school. Same eyes, hair, even the ears. When they were babies, they looked like me. They had Jolene's eyes and nose. I didn't think twice till they got older. You'll see when we get to my place. Got baby pics on the wall. What happened after you left the Corps? She asked. We came back home, I said. Dad brought me into his computer store, introduced me to the crew. I went right to work. A lot of travel, though. That didn't bug Jolene? Ashley asked. Nah, I said. She liked it. Thought it was great I was landing clients all over. Dallas, Amarillo, even Houston. Me being gone gave her all the time she needed to bring Steve around. Into my house, my bed. Wait, she did him in your bed? Ashley asked, eyes wide. Yep, I said. All the damn time. That's why I burned it after she got shot. Mattress, too. Can't blame you, Ashley said. I torched more than that, I said. Couch, his chair, her wedding dress, gone. Ashley made a face. So he had a chair at your place? She asked. Yeah, I said. He was always over, especially Sundays after church. We'd watch football. He'd crash in that damn chair. Kids even started calling him Uncle Steve. Jolene pushed for that. Bugged me back then. Now I know why. I looked over at her. I'm ready for a break. You want a coffee refill? I asked. Ashley shut off the recorder. Yeah, and maybe a smoke, if that's cool. She said. I nodded, pulled off at the next exit. We stretched, grabbed coffee, then hit the road again. Ashley set the recorder back on the dash. So you really had no clue she was cheating with Steve? Ashley asked. None, I said. I was the clueless husband. She never disrespected me, not to my face. No weird vibes when I got back from trips. They were slick about it. So when did it all come out? She asked. About a year ago, I said. I was in LA for a month-long training. Jolene and the kids called and emailed every day. One weekend, Brian sent me a pic. Said they went to the lake. Jolene, Steve, the kids. He caught a big bass. I paused, looking out the windshield. That picture changed everything, I said. I handed Ashley my phone. Go to the photo album, I said. Open the one with the fish. She found the pic. Brian holding a big bass. Steve sat next to him. Jolene stood on the other side, her left hand resting on Steve's shoulder. What do you see? I asked. Ashley squinted, then her eyes went wide. Damn, she said. They look just alike. Same damn dimples, too. Yeah, I said. Now zoom in on Jolene's hand. Notice anything? Ashley pinched the screen. No ring, she said. Right. Want to guess where they were? She raised a brow. I pulled up another folder, pointed. Check Jessica's pics. Look for an ashtray. Ashley scrolled, then stopped. There it is, zoomed in. Holy hell, she said. Are those wedding rings? Yup, I said. The one I gave her, and my great-grandma's too. And guess whose smokes are in the tray? Steve's, she asked. Bingo, I said. And that ashtray? That's in our bedroom, on my nightstand, so, yeah, Steve was in my bed, with her. Ashley's eyes welled up. How could she do you like that? She said. And Jessica took that pic? Yeah, I said. She helps my mom clean. Saw the ashtray, snapped the pic, sent it to me. She was real shook up. Damn, Ashley said. Did she say anything to Jolene? Don't think so, I said. I told her not to. Asked her to pocket the rings and mail them to me. Ashley let out a sharp laugh. Bet Jolene lost her crap over that, she said. Oh yeah, I said. Jessica was solid. Did it all like I asked. Meanwhile, Jolene tore the house up, dug through trash, checked drains, brought Steve over to help her look. I wish I had that on tape. So what did you do after that? Ashley asked. My class ended Friday, came back Saturday night. Jolene met me in the street crying, said she lost her grandma's ring, played it up real good. And you? She asked. I went along, asked all the dumb questions. Did you check the sink? Stuff like that. She swore she searched everywhere. Then I pulled the rings from my pocket. Thought she was going to pass out. What did you say? Ashley asked. Told her a friend found them and mailed them to me, I said. Didn't mention Jessica, just said, maybe don't stash them in the ashtray next time Steve comes by. That one hit deep. Her face went white. Then came the fake tears. I love you. All that crap. I glanced at Ashley. Sorry if I'm cussing too much. Please, she said. You should hear me on a bad day, so what next? I knew it was over, I said. Had no proof of cheating, though, just the rings and my gut. So I started planning. Got DNA kits, bought spy gear from the store, motion cameras, voice recorders, phone bugs. Everything fed into my home server and back to the cloud. Waited till she went shopping, then set it all up. DNA part was easy, I added. One of our clients runs a lab. They gave me the kits, took swabs from the kids, told them to keep quiet, took mine, then waited for Sunday. Steve came over, Ashley asked. Like clockwork, I said. Fell asleep in his usual chair, swabbed his cheek. He didn't even twitch. When did you get results? She asked. Week later. Had him sent to the shop. 99.9%. Steve's the dad. Both kids. 16 years, she said. They fooled you that long? Yeah, I said. No red flags. We still had Zex. She never acted shady. I guess if I'd really looked, I might have seen it, but I trusted her. When did you get proof? Ashley asked. A week after I set up the gear, I said. I went to OKC for a server job. Knew I'd be gone a couple nights. The kids were staying with my parents, so Jolene had the house to herself. Let me guess, she said. Yep, I said. She called Steve, had him over. I called her from the hotel, told her I loved her. She said it back. I didn't mean it anymore. After that, I logged into the home server and waited. They showed up? Ashley asked. Around 9 in my bed, no shame. He didn't even use a rubber, which pissed me off worse than anything. But the worst part, what they said. Ashley leaned in. What was it? She asked. Hold up, I said. Gotta make this turn. About 30 minutes left. I stayed focused. It was dark, no streetlights, no lines, no guardrails. One bad move and you'd end up in a ditch, or worse. We were close to where Steve's old dealer buddies used to run. Most of them got locked up or vanished after he died, but I wasn't about to take chances. A couple times I'd had my windshield knocked out, not by accident. There was wildlife too, armadillos, deer. I hit the high beams, flipped on the roof light bar, fired up the police scanner and CB, and pulled my pistol from the glove box, just in case. We finally reached the house. Ashley pointed at a car in the drive. Who's that? She asked. DSS, I said. They've been watching the place since Steve got popped. Some of his boys tried to torch it in payback, but we shut that down. It's cold now. I patted the tool on my hip. She got the message. Are we safe here? She asked. Yeah, I said. They've got eyes on my family, too. Steve's crew is mostly locked up now, but we're not being stupid. Half the sheriff's office got cut, so DSS stepped in. Come on, I'll introduce you. I pulled into the garage. We got out and walked toward the cruiser. The cop stepped out. Bill Jennings? He asked. Thought you were in Dallas? We shook hands. Trial just went to jury today, I said. This is Ashley Marks, reporter from the Austin Statesman. She's writing something on Steve. She'll be with me this weekend. He nodded, touched his hat. Ma'am, he said with a smile, then looked back at me. It's been quiet since the Rangers cleaned out the last gang. But still, we stay ready. My shift's almost done. Thanks, man, I said. We shook again. Y'all have a good night, he said. You too, I said. I brought the coffee pot inside and gave Ashley a quick tour. The house was old, built in 1866 by my great-great-granddad after the Civil War. Been upgraded a bunch over the years, but parts of the original bones were still showing. 2 floors, 5 bedrooms, 3-car garage, wraparound porch. Each kid had their room. One was Jolene's craft room. Another was the kids' playroom and TV spot. Take the master, I said. It's got the only full bath. You'll want the privacy. I'll crash on the office futon. Been doing that a while anyway. Nope, Ashley said. This bed's huge. We're grown. We can behave. That threw me. Okay, if you're cool with it, I said. She grinned, leading me downstairs. You've got a story to tell, so let's go, she said. Let me call the kids first, I said. Tell them we're coming tomorrow. I called my parents, talked to Dad, then the kids. They were pumped to see Ashley. We planned on lunch. I grabbed my coffee, stepped into the living room, and noticed a stack of DVDs. I pulled them from the study, kept under lock and key. "This'll help," I said, setting them down. Ashley's eyes got big. "How many tapes you got?" she asked. "A lot," I said. "Home footage, office cams, scanned docs, tons of pics, audio too. It's all here. Got backups too, just in case." I pulled out the disc, checked the label, then slid it into the DVD player. "Just a heads up, this one's rough," I said. "I'm ready," Ashley said. This was the one that confirmed everything. Pay close attention to what they say. I hit play. Jolene walked into the bedroom with Steve right behind her. She took off her rings and tossed them into the ashtray on my nightstand. Steve grinned and crushed his cigarette out, right on the rings. "Screw him and his dead grandma's ring," Jolene said. Steve laughed. Ashley winced. Her eyes welled up. I skipped ahead past the worst parts. She nodded, grateful. "Whole video's about an hour," I said. "The Zex is bad enough, but the talking after, that's where it gets real dark." "Thanks for skipping that," Ashley said. "It's one thing to hear someone cheated. Watching it hits different." On screen, they were lying there smoking. Steve reached over, tapped Jolene's rings again. She turned toward him. "I'm pregnant again," Jolene said. "Guess you're going to be a dad again, baby?" Steve frowned. "Damn, thought you were on the pill," he asked. "I missed a day or two, that's all." "Why don't you ever use a rubber?" she asked. "I hate that crap," Steve said. "You know my rule, no rubbers, so either get rid of it or tell him it's his." "I can't do that again," Jolene said. "3 times already. Last one almost eliminated me, ER visit and all. And you know Bill got snipped after Jessica. That was your idea, remember? It sure as hell ain't his kid." "So what now?" Steve asked. "I want to leave. Marry you. That's all I've ever wanted. Bill knows something's up anyway." "Told you already," Steve said. "I ain't husband material. A wife and kids would screw up my whole setup. I like how it is. He works, we play, he pays the bills, and I get to ride free." He snorted. "Don't worry about him catching on. That idiot wouldn't notice if we did it in the same room." "Why not handle him like you did those other guys?" Jolene asked. "Those guys were illegals. Nobody gave a damn. Dead pill runners? That gets you votes around here. But Bill, he's clean. Folks respect him, can't just pop him and walk away." "Accidents happen," Jolene said. "That road, Indian Trail, people crash there all the time. We could make it look real. Or maybe slow him down first. Poison, maybe. We'll figure it out. Not now. Later. Maybe once the kids are grown. That way we get the insurance and your share of his business." "Go to that new clinic in Abilene," Steve said. "They'll treat you better than those hacks from before. I'll keep tabs on Bill. If he starts acting smart, like talking to lawyers, I'll smooth him out." Jolene nodded. "Okay, baby. You're the man," she said, kissing his face. "Now shut up and get back to it." And just like that, they were at it again. I hit stop. Ashley was crying, shaking her head. "God, I hate that witch," Ashley said, tears running down her face. "And you stayed with her for 17 years. Please tell me you went to a lawyer after that." "I did," I said. "That day was wild. Let me walk you through it." I had set up a meeting with Alan Jackson, our longtime family lawyer. What I found out that day hit hard. I walked into his office, said a quick hello, and handed over the DNA reports and tapes. No time for small talk. Alan leaned back and looked over the stuff. "Bill, Texas is a community property state," Alan said. "But if you've got proof of cheating or cruelty, it changes things. It's not a crime, but it'll hit hard in court. Property split, alimony, all that, might even open the door to a civil suit." He paused, then leaned forward. "But the real problem isn't the law, it's Steve," Alan said. "That man owns half this damn county. Judges, cops, probably the dog catcher too. You have to file in the county where you've lived the last 90 days. And no judge here is going to touch your case. Not one. And with Jolene saying she's pregnant," Alan added, "the court's going to hold off on any divorce until the baby comes. Doesn't matter who the dad is. They'll want child support sorted first." He looked me straight in the eye. "One more thing," Alan said. "Steve already told everyone down here to let him know if anyone files anything, including me." "Hold on," I said. "Are you saying Steve told you to snitch? To break client privilege?" Alan gave a slow nod. "Yeah, I hate it, but I'm not trying to end up in a ditch off Indian Trail," Alan said. "He's dangerous, Bill, I'm sorry." "Yeah, me too," I said. "You're fired. Right now, I want every file. Family, business, backups, all of it. Today." Figured you'd say that, Alan said. He nodded at 2 boxes near the door, already packed, then scribbled something down on a piece of paper and handed it over. These names might help you, Alan said. I'm sorry again. I thought you and Steve were boys. Can't work things out with Jolene, maybe for the kids. Could you live knowing your whole life was a damn lie? I asked. He looked away for a second. No, Alan said. Guess I couldn't. He grabbed the boxes and I picked up my briefcase. We walked out to my truck. He glanced around before speaking again. Call the folks I wrote down, Alan said. Didn't want to say it inside, but there are people watching Steve, real ones, feds, rangers. You need to move fast. I also heard Steve's got eyes on you again. We shook hands. Thanks, Alan, I said. I get it. Maybe we'll talk later, maybe not. Back at the office, I sat and went over everything in my head. Firing Alan? No sweat. Dad would back it. But Steve? That was a whole other beast. What if he went after my kids? I called the numbers Alan gave me, lined up meetings with 3 guys, a top divorce lawyer, a state prosecutor, and a senior Texas Ranger, all in Dallas. That night, I called my dad. I fired Alan, I said. Why the hell would you do that? Dad asked. He's in Steve's pocket. Told me flat out he'd have to report anything I filed, I said. Showed him the DNA tests. The videos. Dad went quiet, then cursed under his breath. Damn, Dad said. I knew Steve was dirty, but you need to get the kids out of there, right now. Who knows what he'll pull? Yeah, but how? I can't just yank them out and not raise questions, I said. Dad thought for a second. When are your meetings in Dallas? Dad asked. Tomorrow, I said. Tell Jolene you're going to Phoenix to check some business stuff. Say I'm sending you. I'll come home with you. We'll help the kids pack. They'll stay with us. That'll buy you some time. You think I should tell them the truth? I asked. That's your call, Dad said. They deserve it. I'm not gonna bash their mom, but I won't lie either. They're old enough to know what's up, I said. Then do what you need to do, Dad said. Me and your mom got your back. I called Brian. Hey, bud, you and Jess are gonna stay with Grandma and Grandpa for a bit, I said. What's going on, Dad? Brian asked. I'll explain later. Just be home after school. Grandpa'll pick you up, I said. Okay, Dad, we'll be there, Brian said. Love you both, I said. There was a pause. Love you too, Daddy, Brian whispered. A few minutes later, the intercom buzzed. Bill, my secretary said, voice tight. Steve Jenkins is here to see you. I didn't answer right away. Just reached under my desk, pulled out the Glock, and set it down right in front of me. Cold metal, loaded. I hit the record button on the VCR I kept tucked under the credenza and picked up the phone. Quick call to my old man. Just one sentence. He's here. He didn't need more. Send him in, I told her. Door creaked open a few seconds later, and in strutted Steve, cocky as ever. That smug little smirk glued to his face like he was auditioning for Villain of the Year. His eyes dropped to the Colt. He let out a low whistle. Damn, he said. Didn't know computer nerds kept heat on the desk. What, coding ain't exciting enough for you? I didn't blink. What do you want, Steve? He sauntered in, sat his arrogant A down across from me like we were old poker buddies just shooting the crap. All right, look, he said, brushing non-existent dust off his pants. I know you saw Alan Jackson this morning. I stared at him. So? He leaned back, and all casual. So, I figured I'd save us both the time and bullshit. Look, if you're getting any ideas about dragging my name through the mud because of Jolene, just don't. You think I give a damn what you and Jolene did? If you're planning to divorce her and think I'm going to make it easy, forget it, he laughed. Actually freaking laughed. I don't care what you know. I just care what people find out. You drag this into court and I'll drag you right through the gutter with me. You want to know how long we've been screwing? Damn, you might want to sit down for this one. I didn't move. Prom night, he said, eyes dancing with cruelty. Remember that night? Ashley was my date. But Jolene and we dipped out mid-dance, banged in her daddy's Lincoln. You were dancing with Ashley when we came back. You remember, you always were a little slow on the uptake. My knuckles cracked. Oh, it gets better, he went on. We picked it back up when you were off playing G-Man in Quantico. Remember when I busted my knee at Pendleton? While you were chasing terrorists, I was chasing your wife around the bedroom. She said she was on the pill. Guess she forgot. He grinned, evil now. You got married. And 9 months later? Brian popped out. Cute kid. Looks kind of like me, don't he? You were my best man, you son of a witch. He leaned in. Yeah, well, I was her best man, too. Watching her walk down that aisle, wearing white like some maiden angel. Man, that was something. I stood up. He didn't flinch. And then you left for Okinawa. Damn, Bill, that was a golden year for me. I was over at your place more than you were, every damn night. You came home early once, remember? Jolene panicked and made me climb out the bathroom window. Good times. Jesus Christ. Oh no, we're not even halfway through the greatest hits, buddy. She got pregnant, again. Handled it quiet, clinic down by the border. Guess what happened the day your plane touched down? I was still warm from the night before. 9 months later, Jessica. You piece of crap, he shrugged, still calm. Don't worry. We made sure she couldn't carry yours. That vasectomy, my idea, cleaner that way. Easier to track the bloodlines, you know? She slipped a few times. Another trip or two to the border. Lucky your insurance doesn't ask questions. You're freaking insane! He stood, stretched like he owned the goddamn room. We were good, Bill. Real good. Till you started getting curious, snooping around, acting like some damn hero. Now that you know, cards are on the table. He leaned in close, voice ice cold. I'm coming to that house whenever I feel like it. I'll sit at your dinner table, I'll sleep in your bed. And if I want, I'll play with Jolene right in front of you. You'll shut your mouth, keep your head down, and smile. Or maybe something happens to those pretty little kids of yours. I stepped around the desk, slow. You touch one hair on them, I growled. And I'll blow your freaking brains all over this office. I don't care if I rot in a cell till I'm bones. You're not walking out of here alive. He just smiled, not an ounce of fear in him. Big words, he said, but you know how this game goes. I own this town. Sheriff, on my payroll, judges, golf with me on Saturdays, cops, I handpick them. You think anyone's going to believe a twitchy little programmer with a tool and a grudge? I clenched my fists so tight my palms bled. I'll bury you. You'll try, he said, turning to walk out. You always were the slow one, Cookie. Keep up. He walked out of the office. I stopped the video, burned it to DVD, and sent a copy to Dad and my Dallas contacts. Then I picked up the phone. Dad, check your mail, I said, we gotta move. He just threatened me and the kids. All right, Dad said. I'll make the call. You call Brian. Have him grab Jess and get to my place. Let the school know, too. I think it's time to kick your wife out. Got it, I said. I called the school, told them not to let Jolene or Steve anywhere near my kids. Said it was urgent, life or end. Told them Brian and Jess had to leave right now. Then I called Brian. Pick up Jess and go straight to Grandpa's, I said. No questions. I'll explain later. And don't say a damn word to your mom or Steve. Got it? Yeah, Dad, I got it. But what's going on? Brian asked. No time right now. Just trust me and move, I said. Okay, Dad, Brian said. I grabbed my tool, the DVD, and headed out. Jumped in the truck. I knew Dad would be there soon. When he said he was coming, he meant it. I pulled out and drove home. 15 minutes later, I pulled into the driveway. Steve's truck wasn't there, but Jolene's car was. Good. I stepped out, hand on my sidearm, and walked inside. Eyes scanning the place. I was half ready for Steve or someone else to jump out. Nothing yet, but I stayed sharp. The house was dead quiet. Too quiet. Then footsteps. Jolene, coming down the stairs like nothing happened. You're home early, she said, voice sweet and fake as ever. Everything okay? I stared at her, hard. Didn't blink, didn't speak. Steve here? I asked. My voice was calm, but my fingers were twitching at my side. She gave that little innocent shrug she always pulled when she was lying. Why would he be here? She said, eyebrows up like I was crazy. Don't play dumb. Maybe he was stopping by for a quick screw on my damn sheets. Or maybe to check if the plan to eliminate me was on schedule. Her face went white. Hand flew to her mouth like she hadn't expected me to know. Oh my God. Bill, I'm so sorry. No, you're not. I walked past her, didn't even look back. Slid the DVD into the player, hit play, sat on the edge of the couch and stared at the screen like I was watching the weather. Her voice and Steve's poured out the speakers, laughing, scheming, making me out like a goddamn joke. She stood there frozen, mouth hanging open. Bill, it's not what it sounds like, Jolene said, stepping forward. Steve just talks trash. Please, just let me explain. Explain? I shouted, standing up so fast the chair slammed backward. You want to explain the 3 feticides? The poisoning talk? You want to explain how you looked me in the eye every damn night while you plotted to put me in the dirt? She backed up a step. I followed. You didn't just cheat, Jolene. You bled me dry. You stole years, lied to my face, used me like a damn ATM. Now you're carrying his kid and planning how to cash in my life insurance? Are you sick? She started to cry. I didn't care. Not even a little. I reached down, grabbed her left hand, and yanked the rings off. This one stays with me, I said, pocketing my grandmother's. Then I slammed my own wedding band into her palm so hard she flinched. You can shove that one wherever it fits, you lying witch. Please, Bill, she sobbed. Please don't do this. Don't what? Treat you like the trash you've been since day one. I should have thrown you out the second Steve started sniffing around. I knew something was wrong. But no, I gave you the benefit of the doubt. Like a fool. I snatched her purse from the counter and launched it at her chest. Get the hell out of my house, I roared. She staggered back, grabbed her keys, still crying, but slower now. The kind of cry people do when they're losing power. I followed her to the door, breathing like a bull. She paused at her car, turned around, tears still streaking her face. Where do I even go? She whispered. I barked a laugh. You chose this. Go crawl to Steve. Go shack up with your mama. Hell, sleep in the damn gutter for all I care. But you ain't my problem anymore. Headlights swung into the driveway. 2 trucks. First one was my dad. The second was Steve. Jolene's whole face changed, just like that. Tears gone, voice steady, mouth curled into that smug little smirk I hated. Well, look at that, she said, stepping away from the car. Now let's see who really ends up leaving. I stared her down. You serious right now? I asked. She didn't flinch. Dead serious, she said, cold and clear. Would have been easier if you just played along. The crunch of gravel was the only warning. My dad's old Ford roared down the drive like a freight train, dirt kicking up behind it. He yanked the wheel hard, blocking the road just as Steve's black Escalade rounded the bend. Steve slammed the brakes, tires screeching, front end dipping like it was about to nosedive. He jumped out, all attitude, rage bubbling under his skin. What the hell do you think you're doing, Jennings? He barked, veins bulging in his neck. Dad stepped out, calm as ever, rifle already in hand. He racked it once, clack-chack, and leveled it right at Steve's chest. I'm following the goddamn law, Dad said, voice like ice, not yelling, just deadly calm. What law? Steve shouted, stepping forward like he forgot he had a 12-gauge aimed at his ribcage. Dad didn't move. The restraining order. The one says you and your little side piece need to stay 500 feet away from my family. That means this land, this house, and every goddamn blade of grass around it. And I swear to Christ, Jenkins, you take one more step and I'll bury you right here. Dig the hole myself. Steve stopped cold. First time in a long time anyone had put him on his heels. His face twisted, like he couldn't decide if he was more pissed or scared. Then, whoop whoop, the sound of patrol sirens cut through the tension. 2 state highway patrol cruisers came tearing around the corner, lights blazing. They boxed in Steve's SUV like a wolf pack closing in. 4 troopers stepped out, hands hovering over their sidearms. One of them, older, solid build, shades on even though the sun was low, stepped forward. We'll handle it from here, Mr. Jennings, the lead trooper said, nodding respectfully at my dad. Dad slowly lowered the rifle, not taking his eyes off Steve. Be my guest. The officer turned to Steve and pulled a folded document from his vest. Mr. Jenkins, you are now formally served with a restraining order issued by the county. You are to remain no less than 500 feet away from William Jennings, his children, and any property owned by the Jennings Historical Family Foundation. Steve scoffed. This is bullshit. The officer's tone didn't change. You're entitled to think that. You're not entitled to violate it. Another officer glanced toward Jolene, who was still sitting in the passenger seat of Steve's truck, arms crossed, sunglasses hiding whatever emotion might have been behind them. That her? He asked, jerking his chin. Dad shook his head. Sure as hell used to be. The officer walked up to her window, tapped it. Mrs. Jolene Jennings? She rolled it down slow, eyes narrow. You've just been served too, he said, handing her a second copy. Same terms, 500 feet. Any breach, we cuff you. Her lip trembled just a little. I understand, she murmured, voice barely audible. Then I stepped forward. Officer, I said. My voice was steady, calm, but sharp, like a blade about to drop. He turned, giving me a quick once-over. Yes, Mr. Jennings? I reached into my shirt pocket and pulled out a small digital recorder. Clicked it on. I think you'll want to hear this. I hit play. Jolene's voice filled the air, cold, clear, threatening. If you try to take them from me, I swear to God, I'll make sure they suffer. You'll wish they were dead before I'm done. Everything went dead silent. The officers exchanged glances. The lead one didn't blink. "Mrs. Jennings," he said, stepping back toward her, hand going to his cuffs. "You are under arrest for making criminal threats." She blinked fast, panic cracking through her cool facade. "No, wait, I didn't mean—" "Turn around, hands behind your back, now." One of the other troopers moved toward Steve, who immediately threw up his hands. "This is crap, she was emotional, that's all. Mr. Jenkins, step out of the vehicle and face the hood. You're under arrest as well, accessory to threats against minors." Jolene started to cry as they cuffed her. But it wasn't sadness. It was rage. "You're gonna regret this, Bill," she screamed, struggling against the cuffs. "You hear me? You're all gonna freaking regret this." Just when things couldn't get any messier, a white van skidded to a stop on the gravel. Big logo on the side, Channel 9 Action News. Doors flew open and a crew came spilling out. Cameraman already rolling, boom mic swinging overhead, reporter in a tight blazer fixing her hair while jogging toward the scene like it was some kind of red carpet. The lights from the cruisers painted her face in red and blue flashes. She didn't even blink. "Get that angle, right there. Zoom in," she barked. The camera locked on Steve. He was just getting cuffed, jaw clenched, face redder than a busted pipe. Soon as he saw the camera, he lost his crap. "What the hell is this?" he shouted. "You gotta be kidding me!" The officer behind him stayed focused, clicking the second cuff into place like he was doing a crossword. Steve thrashed. "Get that goddamn camera out of my face." The reporter stepped in, voice cool and professional, too smooth, like she'd practiced it in front of a mirror. "Sir, how does it feel to be arrested in front of your community? Any comment on the charges, the threats?" "I'll sue every last one of you," Steve bellowed. "You hear me? This is maltreatment. It's defamation. It's—" The officer gave him a little shove toward the cruiser. "Keep talking, hotshot. It's all going on the record." Steve spun his head around, veins popping in his neck. "You know who the hell I am? I own this town. My face is on every campaign check, every charity plaque, every goddamn country club board. You messing with the wrong guy." The officer didn't even flinch. "Yeah, I know exactly who you are, Steve," he said, deadpan. "And guess what? No one gives a crap anymore. You're under arrest like anybody else." "You think you're a hero now?" Steve growled. "I'm gonna have your badge by next week, you hear me? Badge, pension, your damn house if I feel like it. I should have told the cops about the homicide plot, but I didn't have the disc on me. It was still in the player. Things were moving too fast anyway. My people in Dallas had all the files and were already building the case. The news van moved so the patrol cars could pull out. The reporter and cameraman came up, my dad at my side. "Mr. Jennings," the reporter asked, "can you explain why Commissioner Jenkins was just arrested?" "Yeah," I said. "Making death threats is still a crime, last I checked. And just because Steve Jenkins and his side chick wear fancy titles don't mean they're above the law. Now, if you'll excuse me, I got kids to look after." I turned and walked off. Dad followed. The reporter just stood there, stunned. Steve had sold this town a lie, Mr. Clean, Mr. Family Values. But they didn't know the real Steve. I was going to make sure they did. Next stop was my folks' place. I sat my kids down, told them the truth, told them the man they called Uncle Steve was their real dad. They didn't believe it at first. I showed them the DNA results. "I don't care what some paper says," Jessica said. "You're my dad. Always have been." "Same here," Brian added. I lost it. I hugged them both. We all cried. I never loved them more. Didn't matter whose blood ran in their veins. They were mine. After a while, I packed some stuff and hit the road for Dallas. "That when you found out how deep this crap went?" Ashley asked, breaking into the story. "Yeah," I said, sipping my coffee. "That's when it really hit me." Next day, I met with Dave Brooks in Dallas, divorce lawyer, known for ripping people apart in court. Turns out he'd set up a joint meeting with the other two guys I'd contacted. I walked in and they were already waiting. "Sorry to blindside you like this," Dave said, "but after that last video you sent, we figured it was time to talk face to face." He introduced me to the others. John Hancock, state prosecutor, shook my hand and got straight to it. "Mr. Jennings, I'm sorry for what you've been through," he said, "but I'll be blunt. Steve Jenkins isn't just dirty. He's tied to trafficking, pills, tools, even forced prostitution. He's linked to at least 6 homicides. And your wife, she's in deep too, especially with the prostitution side." He paused, looked me dead in the eye. "We were building a case. But after the threats to you and your kids, we had to move early." Then Don Jacobs, a Texas Ranger captain, spoke up. "The whole sheriff's office is compromised," he said. "We're pulling them out. replacing them with Rangers and DSS till we can train real law. Even the jail's dirty, where Steve and your wife are being held. We don't have much time." Dave nodded and picked it back up. "As for the divorce, we're filing for annulment. Fraud, crimes, lies, all of it. If that doesn't stick, we hit infidelity and mental cruelty. Based on your evidence, we'll lock down your assets and get you full custody. That what you want?" "Yeah," I said. "Every bit of it." We hashed out strategy for about an hour. Before I left, Dave handed me a disc. "This has footage of your wife," he said. "Some of it's rough, private eyes and fed cams. Some of the guys in those vids, sheriff's deputies." John looked at me, face serious. "I won't lie to you, Mr. Jennings," he said. "I'm going after the judicial execution for Steve. As for your wife, she's probably looking at life without parole. And listen, this ain't over. You and your kids are still in danger. These people don't leave loose ends. Keep your head up. Use the numbers we gave you. You feel even a flicker of weird, call us." "I hear you," I said. We shook hands and I left. My head was spinning. The guy I called my best friend was a full-on monster. And my wife, she was part of it all. The drive back felt like a dream I couldn't wake from. I kept asking myself, how the hell did I not see it? Half an hour from town, my phone rang. Brian. "Dad, you need to come home. Now," he said, panic in his voice. "What's wrong?" I asked. "Just get here," he shouted. Then the line went dead. I floored it. Took every shortcut I knew. Made it home in 20 minutes flat. That's when I saw the flashing lights. Cops, ambulance. My chest went tight. I sprinted up to the front door just as the medics rolled a gurney out. "Wait," I said. "Who is that?" One of them pulled the sheet back. It was Jolene. "I'm sorry, Mr. Jennings," the medic said. "She's gone." I stared at her face. And the wild part, I didn't feel a damn thing. Inside, another gurney was rolling out Steve. His left shoulder was torn open from a rifle blast, but he was still groaning. Fool was alive. I scanned the room, saw my dad, Brian, and Jessica standing together. Thank God they were okay. I rushed over and grabbed them all in a hug. "What the hell happened?" I asked. "I brought the kids to grab some stuff," Dad said. "We'd only been here a few minutes when those two showed up. Someone must have bailed them out." Jessica and Jolene started fighting. Steve pulled a tool. I was in the backyard with Brian, packing. I heard yelling, came in through the back with my rifle. Steve had his out already. Jolene tried to talk him down, then the tool went off. Hit her. I fired right after, blew his shoulder out, called emergency. Brian called you right after. He looked at me, eyes heavy. Jolene didn't make it. She bled out before help showed up. "I'm sorry, son." I just shook my head. "You did what you had to, Dad." Then it hit me. The security system. I ran to the office and checked the server. The whole damn thing was on camera. I handed the footage to one of the cops. Another took statements. I burned them, a copy. Ashley had been quiet, but now she leaned in. "You still got that video?" she asked. "Yeah," I said, grabbing the disc from the desk. I popped it into the player and hit play. The screen lit up with Jolene and Steve walking in the front door. Jessica stepped in a second later. "What are you two doing here?" Jessica said. "You're supposed to be in jail." "We made bail," Jolene snapped. "We're here for you and your brother. You're both coming with us." "Hell no," Jessica shot back. "Get out." Jolene lunged and grabbed her wrist. "Oh, no, little girl, you're coming, whether you like it or not." Jessica yanked her arm free. "Like hell I am. I hate you. I'm not going anywhere with either of you." Jolene slapped her, hard. "Don't push me," she said. "You've got a room waiting in Abilene. You'll do what you're told." Jessica punched her straight in the face. "Not a chance." Jolene grabbed both her wrists, holding tight. "Oh, you're going all right. You're going to be our new star. Right, Steve?" Steve grinned. "Boys are going to love her," he said. Jessica's face changed. She got it. She broke free again. "Get away from me," she screamed. "I'm not going, and you can't make me." Steve pulled a pistol from his waistband. "Then I guess it's game over for both of you." "Steve, no," Jolene said. "Not here. Take him out to Indian Trail like we planned. No bodies, no mess." "No," Steve said. "Screw the plan." "Put the Colt down," she yelled. "We'll handle it later. Just wait." They fought over it. Bang. Then, a louder bang. I paused the video. "That's when Brian called me," I said. "You know the rest." Ashley wiped her face. She stood as I got off the couch. "I'm done for tonight," I said. "Gonna have a smoke, then maybe hit the cafeteria." Mind if I come with? Ashley asked. We grabbed fresh coffee and stepped out onto the porch. It was quiet, cold, stars above us like pinholes in black velvet. Neither of us said anything for a while. Then Ashley broke the silence. I forgot how dark and quiet it gets out here, she said. City's never like this. She looked at me for a second. Bill, you got to deal with this before it eats you alive. Yeah, I said. Easier said than done. How do you just accept that the woman you loved lied for years, cheated, plotted? My whole damn life was fake, and those kids, they're not even mine. Blood ain't everything, Ashley said. My ex cheated too, over and over, but not every person's like that. I know, I said, barely above a whisper. Ashley stepped close, wrapped her arms around me. Whatever happens, I'm here. Always have been. I'm not going anywhere. I held her back. She felt warm, solid, real. For once, something in my life felt right. I used to wish we'd met sooner, Ashley said. Me too, I said. If my dad hadn't taken that job in Austin, maybe we would have. And none of this. Back then, she said, smiling. I was jealous of Jolene, you know that? Really? I asked. You were with Steve. Only because you were with her. I had doubts about Steve even then. He told me straight up he didn't believe in staying loyal. Well, I said, no sense crying about it now. Maybe, she said, with a smirk. But some days I'd trade all of it, job, city, all of it for something real. She looked right at me. No games, no lies. I looked back. I think you would, I said. We went back inside to shut down for the night. I dropped onto the couch like I had for weeks since Jolene got herself shot. Yeah, we had DSS outside, but I still didn't trust that one of Steve's goons wouldn't try something stupid. And as much as I liked Ashley, I wasn't ready to cross that line. I'd only ever been with one woman in my life. Ashley got it. Don't make this a habit, cowboy, she said with a smirk. I crashed fast, woke up to the smell of bacon. Rise and shine, Ashley said, standing over me in an old t-shirt. Breakfast's hot. Come on. I got up and walked into the kitchen and damn near froze. Pancakes, eggs, grits, sausage, toast, cookies, gravy, even peanut butter. My favorite on pancakes. You trying to ruin me? I said, grinning. Hope it's good, she said, pouring coffee. Been a while since I cooked for a man. My mom's gonna love you. You always cook like this? My ex thought a cold egg biscuit was gourmet, she said, scrunching her nose. Now eat, we've got stuff to do. What's the plan? I asked, biting into a pancake. First, visit your folks, then Jolene's mom. I want to get a feel for what was going through Jolene's head. After that, if there's time, we hit the cemetery. Also, if you want breakfast like this again, we're going shopping. You're out of everything. I ate like I hadn't in days. Between bites and sips of coffee, I kept thanking her. Jolene hadn't cooked like this in years, maybe ever. When I was done, I stood and hugged her. That was amazing, I said. Time to get cleaned up. Please do, she said. You look rough, cowboy, like real rough. I laughed, then hit the shower. While shaving, I caught myself thinking about her, about us. After everything, it felt good to feel something again. Real, warm, safe. She was already dressed when I came down. Jeans, a tee, that same look she rocked in high school. We grabbed our stuff and took off. At my parents' place, the kids ran out as soon as I pulled in. I introduced Ashley, and we all went inside. She explained what she needed, wanted to talk to each person, one-on-one. Everyone agreed. Mom headed to the kitchen to make lunch. Dad pulled me into the living room. Ashley sat with Jessica first. Took about an hour. Then it was Brian's turn. While Ashley worked, Dad and I stuck to small talk. Fishing, hunting, soccer. Anything but Jolene or Steve. Later, Ashley asked to speak with Dad. I took the kids outside and we kicked around a soccer ball. A while later, Ashley came out and joined us. We played a quick 2-on-2, me and Jess versus Ashley and Brian. We laughed more than we scored. For a minute, it felt like a family again, a real one. When Mom called us in for lunch, I felt full in more ways than one. After we ate, we said our goodbyes. Jessica hugged me hard. Daddy, she whispered, if you don't ask her to marry you, I swear I'll kick your A. I grinned. I'll think about it. Back in the truck, I looked over at Ashley. So how'd the talks go? Good, she said. And I know you've been on edge, so let me explain something. I gave her a look, nodding. I talked to them alone so they'd speak freely. It's not about doubting you, I believe you. I saw the tapes, but it's good reporting to hear every side. I get it, I said. You're doing your job. I respect that. She gave a slow nod. Jessica told me Steve made some messed up moves on her, Ashley said. It's been going on a while. That sick fool, I muttered. Your folks love you, Bill. They saw things changing but didn't want to mess with your marriage. They didn't know how deep it went. If they had, they would have acted. Anything else? I asked. Yeah, she said. I learned what it's like to be part of a real family again. I needed that. We were glad to have you, I said. The kids love you. You made a hell of an impression. We pulled into an old apartment complex. Jolene's mom lived there. You want to talk to her alone? I asked. Nah, she said. This one's on you. You two have unfinished business. Myrna Carter opened the door after the first knock. She looked older, worn down, not just by age, but life. Her husband had died years back in a strange accident, and now, after Jolene's pass away, she was alone. How you holding up? I asked and gave her a light hug. I'm all right, Bill. Thanks for checking in, she said softly. She hugged Ashley, too, then looked her over and smiled. Ashley Marks, still as pretty as you were back in school. Thanks for coming by to see this old woman. Ashley smiled as Myrna waved us inside and told us to sit. So what brings you two? She asked. I told her about Ashley's story and how she wanted to get the full picture. Myrna nodded slow, like she already knew. So what can I help you with? She asked. Mrs. Carter, Ashley said. This thing between Jolene and Steve. It went on for years. You had to know. Why didn't you ever tell Bill? Myrna dropped her eyes. Shame was written all over her face. Yeah, I knew, she said. I'm sorry, Bill. I should have said something. You didn't deserve it. How long? I asked. Since Okinawa, she said. You were gone, and Steve was over all the time. Spent the nights. She kept him out of sight when family visited, but I saw enough. I warned her. She didn't care. If she wanted him so bad, I said, why'd she marry me? Why not just say so? She loved you. In her way, you were steady, safe. A good man. He was danger, fun. She wanted both. You gave her a future. He gave her a thrill. I shook my head. She slept with him on our wedding day. Had 2 of his kids, lied for years, and at the end, she helped plan my homicide. That's not love. I know it's hard to believe, Myrna said. But she told me she loved you, at least at first. So what changed her? Ashley asked. Steve, Myrna said. He got in her head, took control. I tried to step in once, and she told me if I said a word to you, I'd regret it. That's why I stopped coming by. I couldn't look you in the eye. I was scared of her, of him. Did you know about the feticides? Ashley asked. Yeah, Myrna said, nodding. She told me. I begged her to stop. Told her to come clean, to leave you. She laughed, said she'd never divorce, said one day she'd inherit everything. How long ago was that? Ashley asked. 1.5 years, maybe. The room went quiet, so they'd been planning this for a while. I wanted to tell you, Bill, I really did, Myrna said. But I was scared. Steve was scary, mean. One thing still bugged me. Did your husband know? I asked. I think so, she said. He and Steve talked not long before he died. Her husband was a top-notch mechanic, took care of his stuff, but somehow his brake line snapped and the car flipped. Cops said accident, but no one ever figured out how. I never bought it. I guess it's all behind us now, Myrna said. And for the record, I don't blame you or the kids for missing the service. No one came. Just me and the priest. She wiped a tear. Thanks, Bill, for paying for the cremation. And for having her dressed in her wedding gown. I was hoping Jessica might want it someday. Ashley looked over, surprised. You cremated her in the dress? She asked. I told you I burned it, I said. I just didn't mention she was wearing it. And I put the wedding ring on her finger. Ashley narrowed her eyes. So the ring burned with her? The wedding band, yeah? Not the engagement ring. Ashley gave me a crooked smile. Damn, taking notes, she muttered. Also, Myrna said, thanks for making sure I got her IRA. I'm on fixed income. It helped. She had an IRA? Ashley asked. Yeah, I said. $350 in the account. Another $200,000 in a stash account I didn't know about. I moved all of it into a trust for the kids, for school. Don't ask how she got it. I don't want to know. Noted, Ashley said, scribbling. She turned back to Myrna. Anything else you want to share? No, Myrna said. You know the rest. I'm sorry, Bill, for all of it. I put my arm around her. You're still family, I said. Come by any time. The kids would love to see you. She hugged Ashley tight before we left. Thanks for coming. Don't be strangers. We won't, we promised. Back in the truck, Ashley looked over at me. You really cremated her in that dress? Felt right at the time, I said. Ashley was flipping through her notes while I drove us to the cemetery. We pulled in, past rows of neat graves, and stopped at the columbarium. Jolene's ashes were inside. The plaque was small. Granite. It just said, Jolene Carter, 1979, 2024. No quote, no sweet words, nothing. At least you gave her a decent send-off, Ashley said, quiet. Only did it for Myrna, I muttered. If it were up to me, I'd have dumped her ashes down the toilet. Ashley looked at the name again. You used her maiden name. She didn't want to be part of my family when she was alive, I said. Didn't see the point in pretending after she was dead. They wanted me to write loving wife and mother on the plaque. I told them if I couldn't write lying witch or cheating hooker, we'd just keep it plain. Ashley snapped a few pics. Then she turned and pressed her hand to my chest. You're still carrying all that hate, she said. Tell me the truth. Did you ever really mourn her? I looked down at the plaque. No tears, not even a lump in my throat. Truth was, no, I never cried. Not since the day she got shot. Everything I ever felt for her died with the lies. And the way she tried to hurt the kids, that eliminated what little was left. Still, a tear welled up in my eye, and I cursed myself for it. I turned to walk away before she saw. She didn't let me. Ashley grabbed my shoulders and turned me to face her. You gotta let it out, Bill, she said soft. If you don't, it's gonna eat you alive. What the hell kind of life is this? I said, voice cracking. Everything I thought was real, it was fake. All of it. Then it hit. I broke. Years of pain poured out. I dropped my head onto her shoulder and let it all go. Ashley held me tight, kissing my face every so often, like she was trying to tell me I wasn't alone. When I finally pulled it together, I saw a tear on her cheek. What's that for? I asked, brushing it off. She was my friend too, she said. Back in the day, the four of us, we were tight. She was like a sister to me. I hate what she became, but I still loved her once. She looked me in the eye. You loved her too, Bill, for a long time. You gave her years. You raised her kids. That means something. Yeah, maybe you're right, I said. Damn straight I'm right, she said. But I'm here now, and I'm not going anywhere. You want me, I'm yours. I gave her a tired smile. I get it. She patted my chest. Now, let's hit the store before it gets too late. What's for dinner? Charlie's, I said. Big steak, cold beer, and a band. You in? You're asking me out, in front of your dead wife. Why not? I said with a shrug. She laughed, kissed me, then looked down at the plaque. Bye, Jolene, she said. Your man's taking me to dinner. I stared at the marker one last time. Bye, honey, I whispered. For a second, I thought I heard a faint sob beside me, but no one was there, wind probably. I shook it off and walked back to the truck. You good? Ashley asked. Yeah, I said, firing up the engine. Let's grab groceries and get ready for tonight. We stopped by the market and picked up what we needed. Eggs, milk, bacon, bread. Home wasn't just a house anymore, not with Ashley there. It felt different. It felt real. I showered, shaved, threw on a clean shirt. Ashley took her time upstairs. When she came down, my jaw damn near hit the floor. Denim skirt, white blouse, boots, straight fire. You clean up good, I said, offering my arm. Charlie's was packed. Steaks were thick. Beers were cold. We ate like we hadn't in days. Then the band kicked in and folks hit the floor. Want to dance? I asked. Hell yeah, she said. We danced everything. Two-step, slow, fast, even line danced. I hadn't danced like that in years. She was electric. We laughed the whole night. During a slow one, she wrapped her arms around my neck, leaned in, and kissed me deep, tongue and all. My heart went nuts. I love you, Bill Jennings, she whispered in my ear. Always have, always will. I love you too, Ashley Marks, I said. She grinned, licking her lips. Take me home, cowboy. If not, I'm jumping you right here. Better get moving then, darlin', I said, dropping my best John Wayne voice. She laughed and dragged me outside. Let's go, now. Let's just say the drive home was wild. Thank God for tinted windows. Almost there, I said. Not soon enough, she whispered. We made it to the garage. I closed the door and we barely made it out of the truck before we were all over each other. Hours later, we were lying in bed, her head on my chest. I thought back. Just 2 days ago, I was broken. Now, I had hope again. She looked up at me. Penny for your thoughts? I don't want this to end, I said. Me neither, so what are you going to do about it? I reached into the nightstand, pulled out a small box, the same one that held my great-grandma's ring. I'd cleaned it up, made it shine. Her eyes locked on the box. I told her about the ring. Family heirloom. Made it through wars, through generations. My great-grandpa gave it before going to WA1. Grandpa took it to the Pacific. And now it was mine. And now, I said, I want you to have it. It's not just a ring. It's a legacy. I'll get you a new one if you want, but I hope this means something. A tear slid down her cheek. Yes, she whispered. Hell yes, I'll marry you. I'll wear that ring with pride, But, she smiled, you gotta undo that vasectomy. I want to fill this house with kids, and maybe one day, one of them will pass this ring down too. I slid the ring on her finger, kissed her. We made love again, slow and deep. Then we held each other, and for the first time in years, I felt whole.